They have that record for the fastest best of 5 in NALCS history.
Insane.
Against Clutch Gaming. So sure, they've had a lot of time to think about it, but the games are fast. So you definitely can go over it 10 or 12 times and be like, okay, that was only about an hour or 2 hours of my time.
Yeah, and you got to remember, that was the third place match in spring. So you're coming in hot, ready. Somebody's about to place third in one of the fastest BO5s we have seen. Well, you get to try another hand at BO5 here for Clutch Gaming against Echo Fox. And we start off with phase 1. Bans, pretty normal from what we've seen, but they do take away that Morgana from Hakuo.
Yeah. Make sure that he doesn't have that. The Thresh is another thing you have to consider, but the Akali ban from Echo Fox, we'll see what else they throw up there. I feel like Urgot is a champion that has emerged in the LPL and the LCK and other regions, and it may be something that's higher priority. And Echo Fox actually banning away the Varus that both Apollo and Lost have found great success on that champion.
They really, really have. We know Lost coming in just about week 6 put that champion in his hands, and teams knew they had to take it away right off the bat. Apollo has not played Kai'Sa, though. That is something Lost plays that their champion pools do not match up, so I wonder if we'll see that coming into play here for these guys. The Urgot, however, does get banned out as we see Knee-Man coming onto the Rift a little bit more across the world.
Yep, making sure that they don't kind of get caught off guard there in this best of 5 in the first game. And Echo Fox, they're going to pull out the Olaf, which I believe is a champion that Dardoch played back in that 3rd, 4th place match up against Clutch Gaming. I remember him popping off in that 3rd, 4th place match, one that we've talked about multiple times as being the fastest in NALCS history in BO5s. But a lot of that was enabled by the Olaf, by the routing, by how quickly he could get around the jungle and just clean everything up.
Well, it will be nothing he played during the summer season. Obviously knows how to throw the undertows from that Olaf. And we'll have to see if he can be aggressive against possibly an Aatrox in the jungle if Lyra decides to go back to that. We haven't seen too much of that aggressive play from him as of late that we saw when he first entered into the NALCS.
Yeah, and the Aatrox potentially also going top for solo has been changed around a whole bunch. And I want to see what happens here because Huni, he's the guy that everybody knows has those pocket counter picks. He may go for something like a Scion and just go neutral in lane, or he'll decide on something like a Fiora, a Camille, maybe try a more aggressive matchup and try to go head-to-head against solo. The Gangplank also jumps up to me as a potential pick later on, but they're going to save it for further down the line.
Yeah, the Gangplank is one of his top plays, so could surely be one of the picks that gets locked in. That Kai'Sa is locked in for Lost as they ban the Varus away. We saw before, and Alistar is going to be locked in for a bit of that aggression and engage from Echo Fox.
Yep, fantastic bot lane duo there. The Kai'Sa, very potent champion. It's funny because when she came out, everybody was playing her with funnel compositions even after that, and her item builds just shifted over and over again, but she never really dropped from the meta. There were a few weeks where she wasn't picked and banned, and then she just kind of came back up out of nowhere where it's like, oh, I guess we forgot this champion existed, but she's still fantastic. Pairing her with an Alistar gives you an ample engage for later, good peel, and it allows you to stack 2 plasma on somebody with a champion that's pretty meta in that support.
Easy kills for Lost if he can get in. Teams know to focus him as well, though. If you can take down Lost, it takes apart a lot of what Echo Fox has been recently, since Huni hasn't been himself. He hasn't been Huni, pulling out triple kill after triple kill.
And I love that point there, Riff, because Echo Fox was always kind of, when Huni joined it, it was Huni's team, Dardoch's team. And then it became more focused around, hey, Smoothie, Lost, we'll see if this bottom lane for once on a team that has Huni on it can actually get some attention. Because you think back to Immortals, you think back to him coming into the NALCS again and having a bottom lane of Altec and Adrian. It was really, you just focus the top side of the map, focus Huni's lane, and that's how you win it. And there really wasn't anything that went to the bottom side of the map. Now, with an Alistar, with a Kai'Sa, there may be a little more attention here. And especially if they get themselves a Gangplank on Echo Fox's side, I expect them to have a little more pressure towards that southern lane.
Gragas does get locked in. That's going to be Lyra's as we now see the Aatrox heading towards the top side. You mentioned Altec and Adrian. That was actually part of the team that was in that fastest best of 5 composition for Echo Fox versus Clutch Gaming. So you're definitely getting a little bit of versatility in players here with Demonte, Lost, Smoothie. And what will they decide to lock in here in the end? Demonte had a whole string of Syndra games coming in for Echo Fox at the end of the split, so this is going to feel really good for him. What do they finalize it with?
Yeah, it's 4-1 for him there, and Huni tank duty, the Ornn for more engage. I would be surprised, but it could work out, and yeah, looks like they're going to go for that.
Ooh, there's the here for Febivin, so it does look like he's going to want to carry. Zyrene, watching a few of the games last night, I was like, let's watch some old Febivin versus Faker. What were those solos like? How was he playing? And there was so much fire behind this guy. The team was behind him. They were yelling. And when he gets going, the team gets going. All of their upsets come when more than one of their players is really playing well. So all of Clutch Gaming is going to have to come together here today.
Yeah, and Azir is a champion that Febivin kind of made his name on, also
Absolutely.
the Zed. But when I look at his career stats, he has about 300 professional games, 307 of them. His most played champion is Azir with 34 games and a 70.6% win rate.
Doesn't suck.
And then his next 7-ish champions that he's played in terms of most played are about 50 to 55%. This is by far and away his most successful champion that's in the top of the
And is that actually a Syndra I spy as that second most played, which he's going up against right now, so feels even more comfortable in that matchup.
Yeah, so Febivin, somebody who came over here to North America, his first year here, spring was a great showing for him. Actually came in and had the second highest KDA right behind Bjergsen with a 7.3 KDA. Now he's fallen off. He's got a 3.0 KDA, 25 more kills in spring with 23 less deaths.
It's crazy.
So his spring was much more successful than his summer here, but all of that can just be swept underneath the rug if you come up with a win here, if you can carry Clutch to the World Championship.
Absolutely.
And you can get them on that stage.
We know Echo Fox is favored coming into this matchup. We are on the Rift, and we will see if Clutch Gaming can once again upset a best-of-5 that should really never be on the table for them. It's happened before, and this team can just come out of the woodwork when you least expect it.
Their name has definitely gotten a lot of value. Taking down TSM for the first time in a pre-finals matchup in playoffs, and they also have potential if they move from this to deny TSM their first appearance at World.
All right, we have a sideline report with Avli and ThinkCard to see what the teams are feeling heading into game.
Thanks, guys. The last time that we saw Echo Fox, you guys lost the 5-game series after having what looked like minimal practice during Huni's illness, I believe. So how prepared is this team coming into today?
We're feeling pretty prepared. I mean, both teams have only been preparing for Gauntlet for about 3 weeks now. So I'm guessing both teams have some things that they've been practicing and things they're going to pull out on stage. So I'm really expecting it to be a pretty well planned out and competitive series.
Thank you. Wishing you the best of luck. Back to the casters.
Avli, thank you very much. And feeling pretty confident, as they should.
Yeah, definitely. And right there, we saw that the invade went off. Dardoch went over there and threw a bunch of axes, got Lyra's flash early, so he loses the flash. Dardoch now has to go for, I believe that was barely a leash at all on his top side, and he has to get his blue with very little mana as well. So it's going to be actually a slow blue take here for Dardoch because he never went back to base. So he threw all those axes at Lyra, ran himself and now he's going to have to start on this side. He will be low, which will increase his clear speed later because of how low his HP is, and he gets more attack speed from that as being Olaf.
Slow clears. I wonder if they'll try to get into the face of Lyra once again, like he said. After he obviously gets through his jungle, doesn't want to meet Lyra too low, but he will be speeding through, and that kind of makes me wonder if Lyra as well will be able to do anything on bot side if Apollo and Hakuo can keep that pushed up and keep their pressure in. For now, things will remain quiet on the Rift with just those summoners down for Lyra to start things off.
And I'm watching this mid lane here. Febivin with that Azir actually using Electrocute. So we've seen kind of different variations here with the Azir where there was the Comet, we've seen some lethal tempo, and the Electrocute actually came out when Electrocute got changed to be kind of half of the cooldown but half of the damage. It meant that people who spend a lot of mana on triggering Electrocute actually suffer a lot, right? It's one of the things that a lot of people don't consider is getting those 3 hits off a lot of time actually costs a lot of mana and having to do that twice as often. But for Azir, if you're able to use a W, auto attack, Q, auto attack, you'll allow the Electrocute to go off with pretty much just the same amount that you would spend normally.
Definitely seems like it plays a little bit into Febivin's aggression, or what he used to play, a little tempered now as he may play around the team or play around what Lyra can provide for him in the rest of the early game. Here, Solo takes a bit of damage up top as Dardoch's early jungle pressure on Lyra has provided him space up top. He may have shown himself there. Don't see the ping just yet. Solo is going to get a dive on him here, and it looks like he will be going down. The aggro used perfectly in first blood, going over to Huni to start things off on Ornn.
Yep, Huni feeling real good today. This guy, no food poisoning, throws himself against the wall, knocks up Solo, and this has been a matchup that historically Huni has definitely gotten the better of it, and that's one of the reasons that they are 6-1 all time against Clutch.
I kind of wondered as well, coming in, you think Huni always has these champions that are kind of unique to him in situations that he'll play them, but it seems like those fall off. Did teams figure it out? Was he not adapting? It just kind of seems like they take it a little slower if he is on these tanks and make sure you can get the kill for sure.
You'd expect him to take it slower on a tank as well, but Solo goes back towards the wall, gets knocked up, flashes, but the easy combo there.
Boom.
Even though he pulls Dardoch back, he's not the one who has aggro, Huni was. And so it's a pretty simple pickup there once they get him with the knock up against the wall. Like you were saying, Huni's the guy who sometimes a lot of people would say he overcomplicates things, has a bunch of weird counter picks to stuff. Will make it a little too hard by pushing forward and not having vision coverage. Like right now, he has no vision in the top half of the map. He could be easily ganked right now with how far forward he is. But on a tank, on a generalist,
You don't say.
Usually a little bit safer, but right here, I think he's understood.
Predator goes down, Flash is still there, didn't have to use it on the engage. And looks like he stays safe. So now they have a little information of where Lyra is on the map. This opens up Dardoch to make some more moves or apply a little more pressure. And it looks like he'll be hovering for that Scuttle Crab on the bot side.
Yep, Scuttle Crab coming up. Potentially go and place one of the wards that he has in his inventory deeper so that he can track when Lyra's on the bottom side of the map. But the Scuttle Crab is kind of the first and foremost thing you want to pick up. I don't think he'll go for a Drake this early on in the game as the Olaf. Sometimes you can. It's definitely something you can do in solo queue, but I feel like he wants to get back to routing, back to his top half of the map, and cycle his jungle.
Pretty even in CS across the board from what we see. That kill for Huni in the top lane, kind of a question. Was he back in form? He hadn't played with the team that much. Well, even if he's not back in form, they're still going to provide resources for him and believe that he can put results onto this matchup. Just about a 700 gold lead all said and done to start things from that top side. Top clear here on Gromp for Dardoch, and it looks like he's going to have to back after that. So no lane ganks to come just yet, as we've just about evened up the cannon minions coming into the middle. 6 minutes on that clock. I'm not really sure which way this is going to flow just yet. If Lyra can find a way to figure out where Dardoch is going and slow this down, Clutch has an option to really slow down what Echo Fox does best, get a lead early in the game.
Yep, look at that. Spotted him out with that ward. They're trying to protect Solo on the top side because he has a champion that could take over lane, but against Huni on this Ornn, hasn't been able to do so yet. Lyra is now going towards the top side, level 5 to level 6 though. Ghost Poros all around. He knows he's in there. Solo's level 6 as well. The Ornn Horn could come, and here comes Hakuo. Hakuo is going to be the difference maker here because Hakuo is on his way. So Smoothie. Everybody's actually coming up to this top side of the map here, both supports.
Small hit onto Solo. Slowly moving over as Lyra. Ornn Horn comes out. It looks like they're going to be straight onto Lyra. Hakuo still trying to get into the fight as Damonte locks him down as well. Smoothie with a great headbutt out as they just completely push Clutch out of a fight they may have won.
Yeah, and Hakuo actually gets blown up there before he can activate the Grey Health, before he can actually just defend himself against Damonte, and that's a clean kill there for Echo Fox.
Nicely done. A second one picked up and not too many resources used around. We'll see it one more time right here.
Yeah, Hakuo, you can see here, gets brittled, knocked up. A brittle is applied again, so this stun is longer than a normal Syndra stun because of the brittle. You expect it to go off sooner, but the Ornn ultimate applying that second application of it made it so that that stun was a bit longer. It looked like he had a single moment to potentially go for it, but oh man.
Three's a crowd on the top side, and Solo, not very solo for that one. He goes down, assist all around, and Huni 2-0-1 now.
And remember, you were talking about how Lost and Smoothie were thrown onto this team about week 6 of the NALCS.
Week 6, day 1.
They had about 4 weeks to kind of work with each other. Week 6, 7, 8, 9, first round of playoffs. now they've had an entire month afterwards to work on their synergy, and this looks like more of the style that Smoothie used to play back on Cloud9, where he would roam to other lanes. There was even times where he roamed up and did what he just did to that lane to Huni, and now he's helping him out.
Oh, lost, taking an arrow to the
back
back.
down bottom.
Void Seeker on. And Killer Instinct is held, as that would have been a quick death probably for Lost. Summoner's up, but they're still playing it smart here. They have the advantage. Don't give anything back right now.
Exactly, but right there is Smoothie potential for a flash, headbutt, pulverize, but he doesn't want to go for it because the Tom Kench is dissuading him from doing so. So even though he would get extra plasma stacks onto Apollo, it could be a kill. They don't want to risk it. They don't want to go all in for it because they're already winning, but they don't have vision control of the bottom side. Because Smoothie roamed, that gave some priority over to Clutch. They have a control ward down. They can see Dardoch right now on the ward in the Tri-Brush. And so Dardoch's here kind of do some scouting with his body. It's the moving ward.
I love it. Human sentries. Send them in, hope they come back. If they don't, you know someone's there.
Yeah.
It's just so simple. Lyra trying to get his hands in the pie of the Scuttle Crab, but he cannot do so. Wow, Echo Fox is... Anytime they can really kind of be in the face of Clutch here, whether it's in the jungle, kind of pushing up a little past the minions in mid, or I'm sorry, in the lane, rather. In the middle of the lane is what I wanted to say. But anytime they can get a little bit of aggression, they move up and they're really making Clutch Gaming think twice about anything they want to put under control here. So Febiven cleans up mid, 81 to 101. The rotations have taken CS away from Febiven and really given Demonte a great lead in the mid lane along with his assist. As Solo is just taking quite a bit of damage. World Ender quite early, signaling to Huni that there's a lot of fire coming onto him, and it's going to be Lyra that forces the flash there.
But because they see him on the top side, that means that Dardoch can go after this Drake. He's actually going to pull this out and potentially go for a play here. He has Predator ready, uses the Predator. I've actually noticed this a lot. The uses of Predator that I see from a lot of players now is literally just for 15 seconds of movement speed. He still has it on right now.
Cruising. There's, again, applied pressure. It's like, maybe we don't get anything, but the pressure is applied everywhere. And they do, eventually. I meant maybe they don't get a kill, but they get the turret out of this. They start to open up the map, and now a lane that's already dropped in the top side can be utilized for Lost as well, if they switch it up.
And giving Lost solo gold here, so they get the Storm Razor as soon as possible. At 600, Juicy goes right over to him.
Definitely feels good. So how fast do you think they switch it, or do they keep Lost on the map to utilize more of this pressure currently?
Get the Cloud Drake so there's nothing on the bottom side to play for, and then you can go ahead and swap the map. I think they're doing it right now so that they can free up the bottom lane and just make that exact move.
And Echo Fox up there with the teams. 53% of Drakes. 58, I'm sorry. The amount of Drakes that Echo Fox gets in their game.
Yeah, they're second highest in Drake control for Echo Fox, which is surprising considering we've pretty much called them a top-side focused map for the entire year, or team, because Huni and Dardoch, well, why don't you just play to that side of the map, right? And we go back to even the days of Altec and Adrian on the game on the team, and Adrian and Altec and Fang. It's like, you don't expect them to play through bottom side, but they get so many Drakes. Drake control being second in the entire league is huge when the #1 team is a team like Team Liquid that is known to play through double lift in the bottom lane.
And Clutch, it kind of plays into this game. Clutch is the last team for that Drake percentage at 35%. So it becomes difficult when they kind of know lane focus needs to be strong. If we can come out of lane strong, the game is strong. But that means you can't do too much otherwise during those lanes. Smoothie throws down his will. He'll be safe.
Yep, and they have swapped the lanes around, and you can see that Clutch Gaming were sensing that was going to happen and rotated themselves to the top half of the map as well. And plus, they have the Abyssal Voyage, so just run towards the middle part of the map. But look at this vision control on the top half from Clutch. It's actually a ton of control wards here that are going to need to be
40?
up.
Is there 40?
Oh, well, we'll keep count. We'll keep count. Hopefully they know how many have already been placed. Somebody in stats will be right on that, I'm sure.
So overall, by the numbers, the vision game for Clutch is better than Echo Fox's. So if they can keep the vision up, that's a great way to stop a snowball, but Echo Fox is hungry.
Yeah, and I will caveat it. Even if they get 40 control wards down, they've never, what is it? It's all their wins, they've had at least 40 control wards down. But that does not mean that their losses have not also had more than 40 control wards.
That's a lot of gold in general.
Just means if they place less than 40, they just haven't won a game where they've placed less than 40. So it's a prerequisite to potentially winning, but it is not a win.
We'll see. They may be able to change history.
That's true.
Over and over. So Echo Fox, though, kind of willy-nilly just running through the jungle, not fearing what Clutch can put up for a fight at this point. The core items in Ludens is finished. Stormrazor is finished. No wonder they're so safe to run around Clutch Gaming's jungle right now. And at 3-0, 13.5 minutes, Echo Fox will start Rift Herald with a 4,000 gold lead.
Yep, using the Kaisa, using the Stormrazor, and that big item spike that they have going for themselves. Should be able to pick this up pretty easily. Nobody here to really interrupt it either or steal it away. So that's going to go right over to Dardoch, who's been pretty mobile around the map. 100% KP for himself and Huni. Like I was saying, the Predator usage lately, as most people have swapped to Predator instead of Electrocute on things like the Gragas, has actually become more and more interesting to watch for me. Because even his first Predator, he bought boots when he first backed on Dardoch, and then he immediately uses them in base for 15 seconds of movement speed to get out on the map. So people use the Predator movement speed just to navigate and get out faster, almost like an early home guard. So it's really fun to actually watch because people don't consider it's 15 seconds of movement speed. That is so long to be running around that quickly, and you don't even have to be running at people, right? It's out of combat movement speed for 45% for 15 seconds.
Absolutely.
It's actually crazy.
And it kind of folds over into an advantage of, oh wait, might have an attack on Febiven in mid as Smoothie was hanging off from the backside with Flash ready.
Here they go.
Oh, they may still go. Is that junglers have done things based on timing for how long. You're able to do that faster, and they knew you were doing it faster. Now even faster, and there hasn't been enough time to figure out what actually happens.
That was awesome.
Turret down, one up.
Yeah, he put another one up,
Disc.
and Shelly just gave it another headbutt and was like, ah. She basically, that was actually Shelly inting. She killed herself against the turret. It's like, what is she doing?
Azir counter to Shelly.
That's actually, I love that. That's actually my second favorite interaction with her, alongside the Bard ultimate on a turret, right? If she's charging and you Bard ulti the turret, and it doesn't do damage to it. But that was clever. I really like that from Febiven.
A lot of little tricks we see these guys pull out here, and those are kind of the plays when you are least expecting it as a caster or even a pro player. Those are the great ones.
But all you have to do is see it once. It's like the Smithy Kindred
exactly
ulti,
right, and now you know.
And now we're all experts at this year.
It's so good. I'm gonna go kill Phaedrah now. Nope, not probably not. 16 minutes coming up on the clock as our top laners have head towards the bot side of the map. Huni 2-0-1. That Iceborne Gauntlet finished up versus the Black Cleaver of Solo, who's still looking to shred his opponents.
Yeah, the Black Cleaver, standard buy here for the Aatrox, but it takes a long time to actually get that shred going.
It's like a bing bang.
Ooh!
Oh, hit up Airborne. I don't think they're still going to catch him, though. Nicely done.
Yeah, gets away. Damonte, though, has been silently smashing in the CS department. 192 at 16.5 minutes here. Almost 30 above Febiven, who, remember, this guy's a semifinalist from Worlds. This guy has solo killed Faker. Damonte, he's a new kid on the block. Kind of mid laner, right? Another NA mid.
Getting a little damage on those orbs really helps. You just crush, even with Azir being a good farmer. We've seen Damonte push Febiven into the turret. It was the reason we saw Damonte up to the top fight first. And it's really played out in the Syndra versus Azir lane. Azir being that top played champion in all time for Febiven, and Syndra being his second. So interesting that Damonte was able to get such a strong hold in that mid lane.
Yeah, the Syndra has been really good for him, though.
It really has.
I believe he's 4-1 this split on the Syndra. Yes, he's 4-1, 8.4 KDA. And Hakuo with the rotation. Oh, interruption. It only puts it on like a 5-second cooldown, so...
yeah, he's got it already.
If you want to do it again...
Let's do the voyage again.
Open wide, Hakuo!
Yep, there you go. Towards Huni on the top side. He doesn't have any mana to fight back, so look, he's going to try to flash over the wall and get away from the team. What does Echo Fox get due to this pressure on the top side? And it looks like they'll focus towards bot. Mountain Drake here for Echo Fox, and the second Drake of the game.
Yep, I think it's pretty much just that. They're going to be able to get that Mountain Drake. This will help them out a lot with the Kaisa against Baron, because the percent HP damage she does through the plasma. But that 450 gold that Huni was having kind of in his pocket, because the fact that he has shutdown gold went over to Apollo, went over to the Ashe, the Blade of the Ruined King done for him from earlier, and now he's sitting on some extra cash. And right there,
Headbutt
Smoothie
going in, they get down Smoothie, beautifully done. Or sorry, they get down Febiven with Smoothie. Words. And it looks like Febiven won't be able to help guard this turret. So second one finally goes down, no Sun Disc.
He was not ready for that. Febiven still has flash, still has heal, was not able to react to that collapse that was so fast from Smoothie, who has the Cloud Drake and the Moby boots to move him around the map so quickly.
Yeah.
And that was what you're expecting from this guy who came over from Cloud9 to Echo Fox. The playmaker, that's what people were saying, is no longer a passive support that kind of sits around and lets Huni kind of win the game for the team. This guy takes action, takes responsibility, he's very vocal on the team.
Now moving out with Lost, the buddy system for those two. Just wards and mobility right now for him, 0, 0, and 2. So does he actually have some money on him? No, he doesn't. Really putting that into vision right now for the team, and a little more armor so he can stand toe-to-toe with Solo and Apollo in these fights. Almost cleared on the bot side, but Dardoch will back before heading back to the top. Back for that Baron area to start the vision up on the top side of the map for both teams. Let's see this one more time as Febiven just too far out for his own good.
Yep.
Even though you're under your own turret.
Looked like Febiven was definitely trying to go for an E there, and he knows he should have flashed or he should have hard. One of those two, but he went for the third escape option, and it was the safest, it was kind of the lowest resource intensive escape option, where you don't have to use an ultimate, you don't have to use a flash, but because they committed flash themselves, it's the one that he had to go for there.
Becoming the biggest resource used.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. 20 minutes coming up now. And it happens because Echo Fox has slowly been encroaching into that side of the jungle, and that's one of the first times we saw there wasn't any shoulder wards, as I say, for Clutch Gaming to say, hey, people are on both sides of me. Febiven was out there like it was only Smoothie. So Echo Fox is really starting to suffocate Clutch Gaming.
And that's one of the reasons that like the mid turret is one of the ones that if you can get it later in the game, it's because you got the two side turrets down. You have to deal with somebody who has a lot of wave clear there, and you usually just come around the side. I like that term, the shoulder wards. Over both shoulders there, nothing completely blind for Febiven in the areas that he needed to be able to see.
Uh-oh.
And there's the Predator.
Monte has one lonely ward helping him. Ball onto Lyra to slow him down. Another one trying to stack him up. His ultimate is there so he can unleash power, but it does not look like he's going to get anything out of it. He goes down to the hands of Febiven, as now Solo is on the bot side trying to resurrect from World Ender, and it's going to be Lost and Huni taking him down. Lost picking up the kill for himself.
Yep, Lost going to pick up that kill. 2-0-0. Doing well on the Kai'Sa, now has the Rage Blade and the Storm Razor completed. And Baron is the area that now Clutch Gaming are going to take over. Just swap the map from what just happened. And Solo not having a good game here. 0, 3, and 0. The CS has been good for him, but this Aatrox that they picked very early on into Huni is not working out here.
And a lot of the times, Irene, that's kind of the rock you find for Clutch Gaming is Solo on that top side of the map. Everybody can kind of say, hey, do what you need to do, Solo still be there. And this time, Echo Fox said, well, we're going to cut that rock into pieces to start things off.
Yeah, absolutely. Smashed it. Shows up as paper. Paper covers rock, apparently.
That's all right. Because we're playing the best of, right? So it's okay.
You ever see Tremors?
Yes.
I love that part where it's like I won. It's like, no, rock rips through paper. It's like, that makes sense to me.
It does make sense. Always has.
In this one, though, Huni, 100% being the rock in the top lane this game on that tank. Very consistent. And he is ripping through Solo as if he were paper.
Abyssal Mask as well, so he can now not be worried if he does have to go hard into the fight around Febiven and Lyra. Solos to the bot, still doing well in CS, trying to keep his item clip up, but he is a core item, I'd say, behind. As we see, his boots are finished, just not that next item of Caulfield.
Yeah, the Death Stance, I believe, is what would be in store for Solo, just increasing that healing and that fighting power. But the lane dominance of the Comet is pretty much out the window, and so it's going to be struggle city for him in that top lane.
All right, Irene, so what's the in? What is that? What is the perfect window for Clutch here? You know, it's an Echo Fox mistake, or Clutch gets the one arrow on that person. What is it?
Well, right now, you can't really hit up Dardoch with that. You have to kind of go for the later game team fights and hope they commit for somebody that Hakuho can then devour and then turn the fight around with the Azir without him getting blown up by Damonte. So there's a lot you have to watch out for because Echo Fox have ample engage with the Ornn and with the Alistar, and they even have some pick potential too.
Yeah.
If Damonte lands a stun, it's very easy for Lost to just jump in there too.
It's
right?
fast.
So it's very, very quick. And the Olaf was giving them a lot of lane pressure early. Whereas you look at Clutch Gaming, it's scaling in the mid lane. They have some good range and they have some scouting from Apollo and that Ashe. And then they have some safety with Hakuho. But then the engage is kind of Lyra and he has to get the right people. But there is a very ample front line for Echo Fox here with the Alistar and the Ornn that he would have to get through somehow.
The damage delivery for each team being so different is kind of making it hard for Clutch Gaming too. Like you said, Echo Fox with that kind of pick potential is going to blast somebody out. Fevin wants to stay in there and allow his soldiers to attack,
rotation.
to hit over and over. Hit Damonte. Oh, gotta watch out. Nice stop on Unleashed from Damonte as they devour up Apollo. He does not go down to the Ignite, and now it's an unstoppable Ragnarok. Dardoch coming in. Smoothie's gonna try to stop the fight. Gets one pulverized on as we see a flash from Apollo get himself to safety. Fevin with the Emperor's Defy back onto Smoothie and Dardoch. Now they're turning the fight, but Lyra gets taken down by Lost. Can he be the factor that changes the fight for Echo Fox? Huni takes down Solo in a solo kill on the bot side, and Lost is going crazy as he picks up a triple kill. The Quadra onto Hakuho!
Lost on the Kaisa, picks up a quadra kill. That's an ace though, because he cleaned up everyone in that fight, and Huni soloed Solo on the opposite side of the map. That's gonna be Baron for Echo Fox, 10-2 at 25 minutes.
Lost says, go hard or go home, dude. Ride or die.
Ride or
And
die.
he rides on that one. And we'll see that replay in just a moment. What a trigger pull. This is your Acer Predator replay, and it starts on Damonte from Clutch Gaming.
And Apollo gets really low. The Devourer still ate a few of those balls there from the Syndra ultimate. And then we'll see here when he actually enters the fight, because he actually hits Lyra, jumps in on him with the Killer Instinct, and then he's able to pick him up here on the side. So much damage with the Rage Blade stack. Re-enters the fight now. Heals Dardoch to save him, flashes over, kills Apollo, and then just pumps damage in, and the W to finish.
You see this on the bot side again for Huni. And I came in saying, Huni's not doing those solo kills. He's not doing those things. He does a lot of those things in this game.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, wait, is he at that sweet spot? I think he might be at that sweet spot for the Ornn, where you throw out the Q, as soon as the Q disappears, you can like throw out another, and we can't even see that one.
That was the fight that took ages.
I feel like that's one where they're like, let's show the bottom lane kill, and then they start it, and it's like, well, actually they were fighting for about 30 seconds. Speed the okay, cut the replay.
And they
We're done.
started before the other fight. 10-2, 26 minutes in. Hard to believe 3 Drakes already picked up by Fox, as we are already at the front side of Clutch Gaming's base.
Yeah, and
They keep peppering these inhibitors.
And you got to think Solo was fighting Huni so that Huni couldn't TP in the fight and throw the Ornn ultimate down, because he's way more effective in team fights. So Solo kind of had the right idea of stopping the tank from follow-up engaging or turning that fight around on the opposite side of the map, but it didn't matter. They ended up getting aced, and this is a game that Echo Fox now are able to potentially close out very quickly. 10K gold advantage, 27 minutes in here, as they shove up the mid lane with that bottom inhibitor already taken care of.
And Fevin trying to clear up on the top side so they don't have everything they need. Solo hits onto Smoothie, but that's just trying to get Unbreakable Will out. A possible better engage for Clutch Gaming as Clutch is reaching. Lyra goes in. Party Cask is out as he throws down the stopwatch. Ornhorn knocks up 3 as they go for a full fight. World Ender is down for Solo, and Echo Fox now can just spread chaos throughout Clutch Gaming's base. They don't even have to continue the fight. They take the inhibitor with the fight in tow.
Yeah, question is, do they keep shoving here? Is it the Echo Fox way to not triple inhib? Just go straight for the base here.
Why not? One of the fastest best of 5s we saw in the 3rd place match in spring. Echo Fox may look to do it again against Clutch as game 1 is going to be sub 30 minutes. The second Nexus turret goes down as Echo Fox making a statement in game 1 of the first NA Regional Series.
27 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock. Get your time trials ready. Get your comparison scores for that best of 5 that happened back in the third, fourth place match, because now they are chasing that ghost of the past and saying, we're going to go faster this time.
Woo! Well, that was quite quick. We saw a few times where Clutch kind of tried to bite back, but it just did not happen. Echo Fox was like, now, jaws closed. We're coming at you harder.
Yeah, that was very, very quick from them. And it was explosive because it happened with the Ornn in the top lane getting a slight advantage, and then Dardoch running around the map, the 100% KP for them early, but that completely got just not as much of a factor when Lost comes into this fight later on, gets the quadra kill off the back end of it, because that looked like one that Clutch was going to turn around.
Well, before we throw it, the thing that made me really like Lost as a player was the time I saw him flash over Baron Pit on Kog'Maw and get his triple quadra kill. I was like, this guy... In Academy, this guy has what it takes, and that was basically the same thing. He's feeling good. We'll see if Clutch can stop Echo Fox after that first win. For more on how Game 1 played out, let's hand it off to the State Farm analyst desk.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I want to welcome Meteos to the desk to help us break down this very intense best of 5 between Clutch and Echo Fox. I say that slightly jokingly, as it was a dominant Game 1 out of Echo Fox here, as Riv said, sub 30 minutes. It is to some degree what we expected. We had, you know, kind of pitched Clutch as this massive underdog in this best of 5, and Game 1 goes the way of Echo Fox.
I really like what they did with their comp. All 3 lanes have set up, and you give Dardoch Olaf, which is the pick that he used to destroy Lyra in the third, fourth place match from last split. So you have all these lanes that have a fair amount of priority and set up, and then it's like, go, Dardoch. Pick whatever lane you want to go
free.
to. We will set you up with plays.
This is actually the jungler's dream.
Right,
exactly.
exactly.
To have this kind of team comp. This happens in solo queue so much. Like, you'll have 3 losing lanes that you can't gank for. The enemy has 3 winning lanes that they can gank for, and then your team's just spam pinging you the whole game. They're like, better jungler wins.
Well,
hey, why didn't you help?
Yeah, right? Why didn't you help? And in a lot of ways, that's exactly what happened. We saw the attention go straight to the top side. Jat, last time we saw Echo Fox, Huni was recovering from an illness, was definitely playing at a subpar level compared to what we would expect out of a player of his caliber. Things seem to be turning around a bit today.
Yeah, and it was a 2v1. Like, this was very much Lyra not being there in most situations. Even here, they bring up Hakuo, but it's such a slow move that by the time the fight actually starts, Echo Fox has brought 2 more. So, not only did Huni and Dardoch look better, but it definitely looked like Lyra and Solo were not playing together.
Yeah, it seems like Clutch lately in their games, even at the end of LCS and, you know, right here, it just seems like their team chemistry and cohesion, maybe like some of their team trust is lacking. Yeah. And a lot of the time they just don't seem to be on the same page for plays, which then can make it harder for them to even want to go for plays because there's like that doubt that creeps in.
Riv called out the flash into the Baron Pit in Academy, the flash there for the quadra kill for Lost.
Solo actually
riding hard, not dying.
Yeah, riding hard and definitely not dying in this situation. But a very pretty gold graph for Echo Fox. I think that when it comes to this best of 5, a lot of people will be looking for how cleanly can Echo Fox win it, right? If the expectation is that they will win, is can they do it in a 3-0 fashion, and then even within those games themselves, how cleanly does the victory come?
I mean, you got to look at this gold graph and realize that's a 12K lead at the end, which means at 15 minutes, that was a 5K gold lead. That is a monstrous gold lead. And you see Huni with top damage in the game. This is exactly what you want to see as an Echo Fox fan. Dominant early games off the back of Huni.
I guess my question then is, for Clutch, where can they go, right? Because this was seemingly an amalgamation of everything that can go wrong, will go wrong. We had the losing lanes across the board, and so definitely a tough situation for the team to recover from. But if anything, in that, how do you respond to what Echo Fox has shown you, the look they've shown you in Game 1?
If I was Clutch, I would probably just try to whip out some like unexpected picks, like try to do something that Echo Fox hasn't seen before, because from how it seems on the outside, Echo Fox has like, they're just in a much better form right now. So I think Clutch might look to like throw him off with some cheese or something like that. Because I think if you just try to play standard and you have this sort of like, okay, you know, I don't want to be the sole reason that we lost the game. I don't want to be the one held responsible. You're just not really going to get anywhere. So I'd like to see Clutch at least try something.
Yeah, and my guess as well is these guys have probably scrimmed each other a lot. They were the 2 teams that are going to be in the regional qualifier that weren't in the semifinals or the 3rd place finals weekend. So, like, if Echo Fox has been better than them, they've been better than them a lot, which just increases the need to try something else. I remember talking to Solo on the desk sometimes, and he really liked watching the LPL. So I want to see them try and channel some of that energy. Don't be picking Azir in the mid lane. Pick stuff that pushes, that fights, that does things. And
I mean, if games are going to end in 27 minutes, Azir's not a champion you want to be playing.
No, Solo did his best. He picked the Aatrox. You see that in the LPL and LCS.
Yeah,
so
true.
he's at least playing the aggro
He's in
meta.
Yeah, he definitely made the lane spicy. But I would say that a lot of Clutch's success has been on Feb and on Azir, so it's kind of hard to hate on it because I think, at least in spring, their most successful comp was like Azir Skarner, like Lyra's best champion and Febi's best champ. I know there were some stats saying he had like 70% career win rate on Azir, which is really good.
Yeah.
But I do think you have a point that in this meta, like if you have a mid laner that just has such low presence in the game for such a long time, then it's really hard to get any sort of advantage. You're basically just playing to scale and hopefully win those team fights when Azir's on 4 items. So not really that great of a strat against Echo Fox, the team that's just so proactive, so aggressive.
Well, Clutch has selected blue side, so we'll see how that shakes out for them when it comes to champion select in game 2, rather. We'll see if they can bounce back as we go to break. Here's a look at League's newest cinematic, which follows the crew of the Morning Star in Odyssey.
He played it.